Hello and welcome to the Brasileirao magazine of round 38. History in the making. Fortaleza beat Bahia, sent them into Serie B and celebrated getting into the Libertadores for the first time ever. The big drop. Grêmio defeated champions Atlético Mineiro but couldn't avoid a third relegation in the club's history. No wins away. Juventude see out Corinthians and survive. No victories in 8 matches on the road for the Musketeers. 3 points on the pitch and a party on the touchline. Red Bull sneaked past Internacional and secured their spot in the Libertadores as the mascots ran the celebrations. The final game night in this Brasileirao had loads of excitement, beautiful goals, and a lot of festivities in the stands. All coming up on the magazine right now. In the Maracanã, Fluminense needed points to secure a spot in the Libertadores as they faced already relegated Chapecoense. Without Fregi, Marcão started the game with Bobadilla in attack. Chapecoense put out a team filled with young players as they began to prepare for next season's second division. The 50,000 fans at the Maracanã had to wait to see Flu's first opportunity. After a centre from Marlon, Arias headed onto the crossbar. Just before half-time, Casares took a set piece and forced Juan Paulo into an amazing save. The keeper making a brave stop with his face. But the second half began very differently and the home side started piling on the pressure. David Braz appeared at the end of Marlon's corner and headed home to open the scoreline.
David Braz! Fantastic, touched the ball after corner kick and left it side.
1-0 as the fans went crazy in the Maracanã. 10 minutes later, young gem Luis Henrique took a shot from a long way outside the area and doubled the score for the tricolor.
Oh, fantastic kick for Luis Henrique, the youngest player for Fluminense.
In stoppage time, Flu made it 3-0 with Abel Hernandez.
Fluminense 3, Chapecoense 0. Abel Hernandez, fantastic goal.
A convincing win for the tricolor. Game over as Fluminense bagged their slot in the qualifying stage of the Libertadores. Chape ended the competition with the worst campaign ever in the Brasileirao as they headed straight back to Serie B after just one season in the top flight. There was a festive atmosphere in the stands for the final match of Palmeiras in the Brasileirao. With the home ground being prepared for a gig, the Libertadores champions hosted Ceará at the Arena Barueri. The Greens were filled with young talent from the academy because the first team were already on holiday, but the inexperienced players were not concerned about facing a Ceará side that needed the win as they went for a spot in the next Libertadores. And Thiago Nunes put out his best team for the match. Palmeiras were better in the first half. On the 23rd minute, after a good team effort, the ball reached Van der Laan inside the box. The left-back shot deflected off a defender and exploded onto the woodwork. A minute later, Naves won the aerial duel and left Vitinho wide open to score, but the ball ended up going out. In the final stretch of the first half, Palmeiras managed to score. Giovanni made the cross from the right, Vitinho sent it into the middle, and Kevin beat the keeper, João Ricardo. Celebrations for the 18-year-old winger's first goal as a pro.
A well-deserved lead by the champions of the Copa Libertadores da América. Kevin, just 18 years old, getting the assist by the fellow teenager Vitinho.
Sierra needed the win and improved in the second half. On the 63rd minute, Igor beat the defender on the right and crossed into the area. Mendoza tried to shoot, but had a poor touch, allowing a great save from Vinicius Silvestri, who cleared the ball off the line. In the very next move, Silvestri shone once again, saving a good header from Vina. A great performance from the keeper. Palmeiras said farewell to the Brasileirao in great style with their fans. Sierra finished in 11th place with 50 points, earning a spot in next year's Sudamericana. Santos knew the hopes of gate-crashing the Libertadores places were very slim as they took on Cuiabá. The away team were not quite safe, but it would have taken a series of unfortunate results to send them down. Fabio Carrilli had to make do without forward Marcus Leonardo, who was suspended, so 16-year-old Angelo took his place. Cuiabá went into the game with Jonathan Cafu and Elton forming the attack, and the Greens went in front after a corner. Pepe sent it to the near post and Marlon flew in to head into the back of the net. The Dorado then had the opportunity to double the score in a counter-attack set up by Max. He found Pepe in a good position, but João Paulo made the save. Santos had a clear chance with 33 minutes on the clock, but the low shot by Angelo was easily stopped by Volta. The Coastal Club were determined not to end their last game of the season with a loss. Marinho tried to shoot from a long way out, but the strike turned into a perfect pass for Lucas Braga. He finished to draw the size level in the match. Game over in the Vila Belmiro. Both teams kept their slot in the top flight and snatched a place in next year's Sudamericana. América Mineiro and São Paulo faced each other at the Arena Independencia in a very important match that would define who'd clinch the final spot in the next Libertadores. The host needed only to win, while São Paulo depended on a combination of results from other matches and knew it would be a tough task. Marquinhos Santos sent out his best lineup that had been in form in the second half of the season. São Paulo, on the other hand, had some important players unavailable such as Miranda and Luciano, and Rogério Ceni promoted the debut of Juan, a new hope from the academy. The Rabbits started off at full power. Mateus Cavicchioli found Ademir on the move, but his finish was stopped by Gabriel Neves. On the 33rd minute, America created once again with Ademir. He stole the ball from Igor Gomez, got into the area and shot, but his finish went over the crossbar. A good first half for the hosts as São Paulo looked lost. The second period continued the same way. All around the pitch, Ademir was on top of his game, but this time he almost gave his side the lead unintentionally when a cross hit the woodwork. After so many good opportunities, Ademir finally got his reward. Felipe Azevedo got the ball inside the area and set up a perfect assist for the number 10. No chance for Thiago Volpe. America kept going. Juninho saw that São Paulo's defence was disorganised and picked out Ademir. Full of confidence, the number 10 dribbled past Thiago Volpe and put the ball into the back of the net. That secured the win, and the Rabbits were in their first ever Libertadores. Game over in Belo Horizonte. A great campaign for the hosts, who were in the Continental Tournament. Goalkeeper Mateus Cavicchioli and of course Ademir were outstanding. The number 10 finished the Brasileirao with 13 goals and had become a fan favourite. Grêmio and Atlético Mineiro went head-to-head in Porto Alegre. Galo went into the game as champions. Grêmio were fighting for survival but knew the odds were heavily against them. Wagner Mancini had the return of Douglas Costa, forming a strong attacking line with Diego Souza, Campaz and Ferreira. Cuca rested his starters with the Copa do Brasil in mind. Game on as the goals began to fly in. Rafinha received on the right and hit the perfect cross for Diego Souza, who out-jumped two defenders to head home and open up the score for Grêmio.
He jumps higher than everyone. and puts it in the back of the net. The number 29, Diego Souza. Grêmio now 1, Atlético Mineiro 0.
5 minutes later, Douglas Costa produced a beautiful move to find Diego Souza inside the area. But the scorer turned provider and gave it to Campas, who just pushed it into the back of the net. A dream start for the tricolor. Grêmio made it 3 with 20 minutes on the clock, as Diego Souza scored his second. An amazing set piece from the forward.
The biggest fan of Grêmio wouldn't believe that start.
Gala responded with their own amazing goal. Dudu danced through the defenders and then shot to surprise Gabriel Chapecó. 3-1 and Atletico were back in it. And the fantastic first half continued. Calibi advanced with the ball from midfield and hit a beautiful pass to put Vargas in a 1-on-1 position with Gabriel Chapecó. The Chilean didn't waste the opportunity and finished with style. And there was more to come after the break. Ferreira got the ball and advanced before hitting this exquisite pass to Douglas Costa. He was in the perfect position to score Grêmio's 4th in the match. In stoppage time, Johan shot from deep outside the area straight into the back of the net to wrap things up in this action-packed match.
What a masterpiece! A nice free kick by the number 20 Joran.
4-3 in a pulsating game. But 19 losses said it all for Grêmio, and with Juventude's win, the Porto Alegre team slumped into Serie B for the 3rd time in their history. Fortaleza faced Bahia in a big match for both teams in the Castelão. Bahia knew what they had to do, as a win, or perhaps even a draw, would guarantee them their first division survival. Fortaleza's aim was to finish in the top 4 for the first time in their history. Voivoda's side were just about at full strength for this huge game. Guto Ferreira put out a side with no surprises, but was without the inspirational Rossi. Bahia were in dreamland in the first half. Juninho Capixaba pumped the ball into the area. Goalkeeper Marcelo Boecki made a real mess of the claim and then appeared to swipe Gilberto in the face. The referee gave the penalty, and with Gilberto stretched off, Rodriguinho kept his nerve to steer the ball into the back of the net. Bahia headed to safety at this point. But just before half-time, Mateus Bahia was adjudged to have stopped Iago Pikachu inside the area. It looked a questionable decision, but amazingly, VAR confirmed the penalty and Wellington Paulista did the rest. In the second half, Iago Pikachu and Edison combined, but Danilo Fernandes pulled off a decent stop to keep his side in it. Torres then caused problems for Nino Paraíba before trying a shot. Once again, Danilo Fernandes came to the rescue, as Mugni mopped up. Bahia under the cosh. With the clock ticking down, David tried his luck from outside the area. His effort smashed onto the arm of Conchi, and it looked like a stonewall penalty. And after another long check, the referee pointed to the spot. Iago Pikachu did the honours, and off came a shirt as the Castelão went absolutely crazy. But Bahia were distraught. 2-1 the final score. History-making stuff for Fortaleza, who were a whisker away from going down last season. What a night for the fans, who lit up the arena. For Bahia, this was the match where they failed to take their destiny into their own hands, and their lacklustre performance cost them a place in the top flight. Sport Recife were already relegated as they hosted Atlético Paranaense at the Arena Pernambuco in a match that had little significance on the championship. Gustavo Florentin put out Sport with an attack formed by Mikael, Everton Felipe and Paulinho Mussolin. Atlético, however, went to the field with a full reserve lineup, saving their starters for the upcoming Copa do Brasil finals. On the 28th minute, Mikael received the ball inside the area, beat the defence with his control and finished nicely to make it 1-0. Just before half-time, Calvin managed to get on the rebound with a first-time shot to send the ball into the back of the net. One apiece. In the second half, Sport had the best chance to win the match. Gustavo was tripped inside the area and the referee called for a penalty. Everton Felipe aimed for the left corner, but it was a poor effort. Goalkeeper Bento managed to reach the ball and save it. A disappointing season for Sport, who crashed into Serie B. Atletico Paranaense finished in 14th, but had won the Sudamericana and still had the Copa do Brasil finals to come. Red Bull Bragantino clashed swords with Internacional in the Nabi Edis. The home side were fighting to secure a spot in the group stage of the Libertadores, while the away side needed all 3 points and other results to go their way to get a place in the international competition. With only 3 minutes on the clock, Italo set up Artur with a great pass, but the winger got it all wrong and wasted a very good opportunity. A minute later, Marcelo Lomba was put to work. Italo headed very well towards the corner, but the keeper produced some magic to deny him. In the follow-up, Eric Ramirez hit the woodwork, and when the lights were almost going out in Bragança Paulista, Artur decided to shine.
Into added time! Artur puts it in for Red Bull Bragantino.
The winger cut into the middle and struck to give Red Bull the win. Game over, and the Massa Bruta will be in next year's Libertadores. Internacional had to settle for the Sudamericana. The fans were nervous but confident in the Alfredo Jaconi for Juventude's decisive match against Corinthians as they tried to escape relegation. To survive, the hosts needed to win and hope that Bahia would lose their game. Former Corinthians coach Jair Ventura had to make do without Ricardo Bueno, who was injured, and chose Capixaba to take his place. Silvinho sent out his team with Gustavo Silva and Gabriel Pereira instead of Renato Augusto and William. Juve's first clear opportunity was from a set piece by Chico Kim, but he was stopped by Cassio's save. Then, another good chance from Juventude, this time from Rafael Foster, but the woodwork saved the Musketeers. Back after the break, Juventude remained in control. Hobson's strike was stopped by another impressive save from Cassio, the veteran keeping his side in the match.
As you look at the replay, it's so close.
After a corner, VAR came into play and spotted a penalty for the home team. Chico Kim converted to make it 1-0. Juve one step closer towards salvation.
They needed someone to step up to this huge moment. He was there to take the penalty calmly. Incredible and huge moments for Juventude.
Game over and the Alfredo Jaconi erupted. In dramatic style, Juventude survived by the skin of their teeth. Job done by Jair Ventura's squad, but only just. Corinthians' only consolation was that their loss condemned Grêmio into the second division. Dreaming of a spot in next season's Libertadores, Atletico Goianiense took on a Flamengo side who had nothing left to play for but pride. Marcelo Cabo sent out his team with the best lineup he had to try to make history. Caretaker coach Mauricio Souza had a team filled with young players, amongst them the promising Lazaro, who was an under-17 world champion with Brazil in 2019. The first half struggled to get going. Arnaldo had the best opportunity for the Dragons. After a nice move, the right back shot and hit the crossbar after a slight deflection off Leo Pereira.
Hits the bar.
The game improved in the second.
And they did not go in.
Right at the beginning, Fernando Miguel pulled off two fabulous saves to prevent Flamengo from scoring. On the 68th minute, the referee gave a penalty to the Dragons after a handball by Gabriel Noga.
He was just supporting his body. To me, that is not a penalty. It's not a penalty.
But VAR came into play and the decision was overturned. The Dragons were better in the game and with 81 minutes on the clock, opened up the scoring after a header from Lucao after a perfect cross from Marlon Freitas.
Hello, header, goal!
21 years old, his second goal in the Brasileirão 2021, Bira.
In stoppage time, Toro made sure of the points when he delivered the goods inside the area to make it 2-0.
Tried to set it up and goal for Atletico!
Game over, but Atletico's best ever finish in the Brasileirao wasn't quite enough to take them into the Libertadores. Flamengo ended the season on a low and are still searching for a new coach. Opening up our top 3 goals of round 38 is Artur. Red Bull's winger adjusted himself before he fired a rocket. The ball flew past Marcelo Lomba in lightning speed to strike home. Artur sits in 3rd place for this beauty. The silver medal goes to Diego Souza. The Gremio striker nailed a fantastic shot in this set piece, giving no chance to Rafael. Just look where the ball went in this amazing strike. Rafael tried his best, but there was no way he could stop this one. And the most amazing goal of the last round was from Dudu. The left back from Atletico Mineiro produced a bit of magic. Just look at this supernatural curl on the ball before it found the back of the net. Spookily fantastic start from Dudu, winner of the best goal of the round. Marcelo Lomba pulled off the best save in round 38. The Internacional keeper was in top form to save Italo's header. The striker tried to beat Lomba, but the goalkeeper was too alert and denied the Red Bull man. This one is worth seeing from every single angle. Lomba flying his way to the award of the best save of the round. The most spectacular bit of skill in round 38 was produced by Mateus Vargas. Fortaleza's number 96 brushed off Edson with an exquisite nutmeg. Mateus Vargas managed to pull off the perfect dribble and snatch the very last best skill award of this Brasileirao. Let's take a look at the best players and the manager who stood up for us in this final round of the Brasileirao 2021. In goal, we went for Vinicius Silvestre of Palmeiras. At right back, Iago Pikachu from Fortaleza. Our 2 central defenders, David Braz of Fluminense and Michel of Palmeiras. At left back, Dudu of Atlético Mineiro. In midfield, Marlon Freitas, Atlético Goianiense. Ademir, América Mineiro. Chico Kim, Juventude. Our 3-pronged attack consists of Artur from Red Bull, Luis Enrique of Fluminense and Diego Souza of Gremio. The man we've chosen to sit on the bench is Jair Ventura of Juventude. The best player round 38 was Diego Souza. The experienced striker did everything he could to try to save Gremio from relegation, but in the end, it just wasn't enough. Souza scored a brace and provided an assist in the win over champions Atlético Mineiro. The result, though, failed to save the tricolor, who ended the season in the bottom 4. But the striker gave it his all on the pitch and got our vote as the best player in the final round of the Brasileirao. In the Libertadores, the teams that will be in the Libertadores 2022 are champions Atlético Mineiro, runners-up Flamengo, Libertadores winners Palmeiras, plus Fortaleza, Corinthians, Red Bull Bragantino, Fluminense and América Mineiro. These are the clubs that couldn't save themselves and will be playing in next year's second division. Gremio, Bahia, Sport Recife and Chapecoense. Let's take a look at the final table from the 2021 season. Atlético Mineiro finished on 84 points and are worthy winners of the Campeonato Brasileiro. Last year's champions Flamengo finished in second, followed by Libertadores holders Palmeiras. Fortaleza were confirmed in the coveted 4th place slot. Behind them came Corinthians, Bragantino, Fluminense and América Mineiro. In the wrong half of the table are big names such as Internacional and São Paulo. Juventude survived on the final day, but Grêmio, Bahia, Sport Recife and Chapecoense are condemned to Serie B football. That's it then for this week. We hope you enjoyed our coverage of the toughest, most exciting league in the Americas in 2021. And we'll be back next season with more action from the Brasileirao.